Hey everybody, it's Jason Hennessy. Welcome to your Legal Marketing Brain Trust. I wanted to take some time today to talk about a problem in SEO where sometimes even the best SEOs in the world miss this stuff. And it is something that can really kill your strategy. And so if some of the best SEOs in the world miss this stuff, just kind of think about, if you're trying to do this yourself, if you're just learning SEO, you might not even be aware that this is even a problem. So what I'm talking about is something called keyword cannibalization. And before you tune out and you're like, whoa, this sounds just too technical, it's really simple. It's the thought process of you having multiple pages on your website that are competing for the same exact keyword or keyword phrases. So in this example here, you see, you've got a website, there's 4 different pages, all of them are competing for bicycles. Well, Google's starting to get confused. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how and why Google's starting to get confused. All right. So keyword cannibalization, there's a good article on Yoast if you really want to read a little bit more detail about this. But I'm going to basically summarize this for you pretty simply. So if I go to Google and I type in Phoenix car accident lawyer, right? You've got your AdWords there, your map pack, right? You've got your organic listings, right? Most of these pages here on the first page of Google probably don't have too much keyword cannibalization happening because it's a competitive term and Google has these pages indexed pretty high. And I'll show you, I'm going to look at this Breyer law here in a second and show you how they don't really have too much of this as a problem. But if I go to page, let's just say 6 of Google, and I just randomly pull one of the websites here, I grab this Wilson Law, right? So I don't know who they are. I have no association with them. I'm just kind of pointing now as an education so that maybe if they're watching, they'll learn that, maybe this is a mistake that's happening. So this page right here is optimized for Phoenix car accident lawyer. Right? If I go and I look at their site, they've got another page that, that is optimized for personal injury lawyer. And so one of the things that you can see here is there's 2 different ways to kind of look for this, right? So the first is if I just do a site : and then I put their URL in here, it shows me that there's 40 pages indexed on Google, right? So not a lot of content, happening here. In comparison to the site that was ranking number 1, right? So this Breyer law, if I do the same thing, they've got 1,590 pages that are indexed, right? So it's a much bigger website. That's how you start to build more authority, is with more content. You internal link the pages correctly. And so, that's a topic for another day here. But specifically, I'm talking about keyword cannibalization, where you might have multiple pages trying to compete for the same word. All right, so that's one step to see how much content that you have that's indexed. Now, if I want to see specifically if there's a problem with keywords that are competing with each other, in this case, I did a command search, right? So I put site : then I put the actual domain in there. You don't want to put the www or anything. You just put it in just like that. And then in this case, I put in title, right, : and then I put in quotes, Phoenix personal injury, close quotes, right? So what I'm telling Google here is to show me all of the pages that are indexed on this website that have the words Phoenix personal injury in the actual title, which is this. This is actually the title. The title is one of the first things that Google looks at for relevancy of a page, right? So if they've only got 40 pages of content and 34 of them are all competing for the word Phoenix personal injury lawyer, even though they're really not, right? This page should be really optimized for Phoenix construction injury lawyer, right? You've got Phoenix catastrophic injury lawyer, right? So they're trying to do the right thing, but because they have this at the end of the title, it's throwing things off. And so that's something that you want to be careful of, right? And you could start to spot check that, so if you just do a search for site, for your website, you put your domain in here and you start to look at this, right? You can go to the first page, you can go to second page, third page. And if you start to see multiple pages that are all optimized for like car accident lawyer, that could be causing some problems, and you probably want to have somebody take a look at that for you. Because I've seen sites really, once they fix that, like actually skyrocket in the SERPs, the search engine result pages. Um, so, one thing that you could do also to check for this, I'm just going to pull that site, right? So this is the site that's ranking number one. Usually when you're studying your market, you want to start to look at the sites that are ranking number one, number two, and number three, right? Because, Google has them there for a certain reason, right? And so, start to study, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing different than you? The first thing to look at is how many pages of content do they have indexed, and how many pages of content do you have indexed, right? And sometimes there's red herrings there, right? Sometimes you might have a site that has 5,000 pages indexed, and your competitor only has 1,500, and the reason why you have 5,000 pages indexed is because something's broken and you've got all kinds of content that's being indexed that shouldn't be indexed, right? Or you got hacked, right? So that's not always the case that just because you have more content, you should be ranking higher. It could be that your site is also broken. But all things being equal, if everything is correct, right? If they've got 1,500 pages and you've only got 40, right? There's a reason why they're outranking you. But if I'm going to look specifically at this site here, right? Because they are doing well, it's ranking number one for that term. I'm going to go into Ahrefs, right? This is a great tool. I love it. Tim and I have a photo battle happening right now, which is kind of funny. If you look at this, right, so I'm just looking at face level here, certain things that I look at, they've got 350 referring domains linking back to them. I can see that their link graph is growing. If I really wanted to reverse engineer their strategies, I'd click here and I'd start to look at their links and see all the links that they have that I don't have. But for this demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on top pages here. So this is an amazing feature that Ahrefs has. And so start to look at your top pages, right? So this is the car accident page. If I click on this, you can see that this page is clearly trying to rank for Phoenix car accident lawyer, Phoenix car accident attorney, right? And if I click here, I can see it's all car accident. I don't see this page trying to compete for, Phoenix slip and fall lawyer, right? And you just start to go down the list here, right? This is a Tucson car accident page, right? You can see all of the different terms here. This page is clearly trying to rank for Tucson car accident. Sometimes you'll see a page that is trying to compete for both personal injury and car accident, right? That's a problem. You really need to have a page designated for your personal injury, and then you have to have another page designated for your car accident, because you can't, especially those terms, those are very competitive terms. It'd be almost impossible to try to get, page ranking for both a personal injury and a car accident. I've seen it before, right? Because of the authority of the site and maybe the link profile, but the right way to do that would be to have two pages. So as you go through this website, though, like I said, even the best SEOs in the world, right, miss some of this stuff. And so it's just because you're probably publishing a lot of content, and somebody might have published a page and it's competing, with the car accident page. And you can see like green, actually red arrows going down with this. If you start to see like that right here, right, you'll see, if a page starts to compete with another page, all of a sudden instead of seeing all these this has moved up 8 position, this has moved up 4, you'll see a lot more of the stuff moving down. So anyway, I wanted to demonstrate that for you all today. I hope this video was informative. I really enjoy making them. As always, if you have any questions about SEO, I'm very happy to answer them. I can create another video. Just provide some feedback. All right. Well, thank you so much, and you guys have a fantastic day.